Surprise, surprise, I'm doing a rant, yeah. Last official rant I did was, I want to say, January, but I'm too lazy to look and I suddenly stopped caring. So, what's the big deal? What's this rant on? This rant is on the most terrible thing I have ever seen in my entire life. It is a rant on Lucky Star. Now, before you click the back button, I just want to say that I'm not going to do a rant on the Lucky Star fans, okay? That's his job. This is not the Fanboy Chronicles. As for me, I'm not going to call you a weeaboo, an otaku, or a pedophile for watching this show, for the most part. I am going to do a rant on Lucky Star itself, okay? I'm going to head right into the bowels of El Diablo. If you're a fan of this show, you shouldn't be offended. The only person who should be offended is the bitch who came up with this giant pile of glitter-covered shit. Also, keep in mind that these are my opinions, so saying in the comment box, "Well, that's just your opinion," will just be redundant, invalid, and you'll look like a fucking idiot. Now, before I start, I just want to say something. I am convinced that Hillary Clinton came up with the idea for this show. On Wikipedia, it says that Kamina Yoshi-Whatsit came up with the idea for this show, but fuck Wikipedia, that name you see there is Hillary Clinton's pen name. Think about it. The show is about a group of ugly, annoying, whiny cunts who piss me off and get away with it. Hillary Clinton is also an annoying, ugly, whiny cunt who pisses me off and gets away with it. See? These characters are all her self-inserts. 90% of the characters are girls because she's a fucking feminazi, and the one boy in the show gets ridiculed and made fun of because she's still butthurt about Bill. Anyway, I'm going to start off with the theme song. I think that this is a perfect place to start off because this is the ear-splitting sound that greets you when you first watch the show. Keep in mind I did not edit this. This is exactly how the fucking intro starts off. Get your earplugs ready. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm not a very good singer. I mentioned this in all of the videos where I sing. I am not a very good singer. I'd even go as far as to say that I'm a terrible singer, alright? I've been a terrible singer since May 23rd, 1998. Fun fact, that was the date of my tonsillectomy. I never fully healed, but even though I am missing part of my mouth, I think it's safe to say that I can sing infinitely better than any of those shrill, squeaky, high-pitched cunts who sang in Lucky Star. No one should have the displeasure of having the sounds of those voices claw their way into your ears. Some people think that hell is a place where you are tortured, maimed, humiliated, and burned for all eternity. Those are the people who haven't heard the full intro to Lucky Star. Now that I'm done with what you have to listen to, I'm going to talk about what you have to look at. We have blue hair, pink hair, and the two purple hairs. I don't even need to say their names, because you already know who I'm talking about. Blue hair, pink hair, and the two purple hairs. See? I was right, wasn't I? That's because the only thing that sets these characters apart from one another are their fucking hair colors. Everyone looks exactly the same. If the show was in black and white, you couldn't tell anyone apart. Speaking of which, the fact that this show has a black and white manga just bewilders me to no end. You should get a medal if you manage to read the Lucky Star manga without going insane. Anyway, the way that this show looks pisses me off because the bitch who came up with Lucky Star is under the impression that vomiting colors onto everything will make the show more interesting. It's like the filter fuckers on DeviantArt. They go into Photoshop and draw something that sucks giant donkey cock, and then they pick a random filter and voila! Your drawing is amazing. The bitch who created Lucky Star does the exact same thing, except Instead of filter fucking, she hires a clown to come into her studio and vomit rainbow-colored unicorn shit all over her concept art, and voila! Your drawings are amazing. It doesn't work that way. Raping as many colors as you can shouldn't be the only thing you rely on to make your show look interesting. You can get a message across perfectly fine without throwing as many colors at us as you possibly can. I've done it. Why can't you? Oh yeah, that's right, you're a stupid bitch. I'm such a cunt. Some of you might think that judging by who on YouTube I mostly hang out with, what my favorite animes are, and how I feel about girls who scream kawaii at the top of their fucking lungs, you'd be under the impression that I didn't give Lucky Star much of a chance. And you'll feel the urge to type, "Oh my gnome! You have to keep watching it! The show starts off kinda slow, but then it gets better!" I'm just gonna say this loud and clear. I watched all 24 episodes of Lucky Star. I listened to that terrible fucking theme song 24 times in a row. I sat through all those seizure-inducing colors 24 times in a row. And most importantly, I watched my favorite character get harassed by a bunch of shrill, high-pitched cunts 24 times in a row. I was more than patient with this show. I waited and waited for this show to get better, and it never did. Now it's your cue to type, "Oh my gnome! Don't watch the dub! You need to watch the subtitled version! The subtitled version is so much better!" I'm also gonna say this loud and clear. I watched your perfect fucking subtitled version, and it still sucked. Sometimes animes suck no matter how you watch them. By the way, as long as I'm on the subject, the whole sub versus dub bullshit really needs to stop, alright? If you think that dubs are always better, then you need a fucking reality check. And if you think that subs are always better, you need a fucking reality check. Also, watching a dub doesn't make you illiterate, and watching a sub doesn't make you a weeaboo. Both of you need to shut the fuck up. Subs and dubs are ways you can watch cartoons. They are not fucking religions. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to talk about the story. This might sound rather hyperbolic, but the main problem I have with the show, as far as the story is concerned, is that the episodes are numbered. All this time, I was under the impression that you were supposed to watch the episodes in order. However, I have found that if you watch all the episodes out of order, you get the exact same story. Hell, you can watch the episodes in reverse, and it'll still come out exactly the same. Why? Because all the episodes are exactly the same. You guys want to hear a spoiler for Lucky Star? Here's your fucking spoiler. There's nothing to spoil. Nothing ever happens in Lucky Star. This is every single episode of Lucky Star summed up, okay? Blue hair, pink hair, and the two purple hairs talk. They talk and they talk and they talk, all the while making references to better animes and various other inside jokes that only Japanese people, huge nerds, and really, really old babies would understand. Why is this? It's because the person who made Lucky Star is about as original and well-rounded as a fucking cinder block. Then, at the end of the episode, the only remotely likable character in the whole show gets yelled at by some bitch. The end. I hate shows like this with a passion. You know the shows where it claims that you're supposed to watch the episodes in a certain order, but as far as the plot goes, every episode is the same and nothing ever gets done? The only thing that changes are the inside jokes. You should be able to watch something without having a bunch of inside jokes thrown at you. Ozymandias did it correctly. Alright, you don't need to be Japanese, a huge nerd, or a really, really old baby to understand what happens in Ozymandias. This is not the case with Lucky Star. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I thought Lucky Star was a piece of shit. Stop recommending it to me.